Plump Goops Podcast.
Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes.
Welcome back, everyone, to Hot Takes. What was that, Corey? Vodka?
Lemonade.
Nice cop.
Lemonade and vodka.
Actually, a margarita.
Yeah. Is there a mixed drink that you make with lemonade?
Vodka and lemonade.
Yes, indeed. This is Hot Takes,
The
High
lemon
Stakes,
drop.
the podcast where we deliver hot takes on hot plates.
At insufferably high stakes.
The stakes are so high you're going to crash your Segway because of motion sickness, which is what my sister did in Colorado. We had to stop an entire Segway tour so that she could puke on the side of the road.
We can only hope that this goes better than that.
We can only hope that this goes better than that. And, I mean, it probably won't because Corey is, as you can see on the video podcast version, Corey is recording from the top of a mountain in Colorado, the very peak.
With an AirPod and an earbud.
Yeah, he's got AirPod and earbud going at the same time. So yeah, we can go through who's on the podcast. To my left, we have, as we mentioned before. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Am I on your left on your screen?
Yeah, big time.
The name's Corey Dotson. Dotson.
Really easy. You didn't have to say that slowly. It's one of the easiest names. One of the most just simple. If you ask me how to spell it, yeah, I guess that's the only thing that could trip me up.
It's not. We don't have many friends that you have to recite twice.
I mean, in terms of pronunciation, no. But like Ronik's last name, he would probably have to tell you how to spell it.
Yeah, it's like
everyone else,
not Pavley. Yeah.
Will's last name has that sneaky A before the N. It's like Vahan.
Wait, really?
Oh, right.
Ew.
I forget about that.
We have a lot of EUIs
Irish
as well, like Woolsey, Corey, Pable. So yeah, and then to my
Tanner.
south, also Tanner. To my south, we have I don't know. He always likes to introduce himself, so let's give him a chance. Let's give him a shot.
I am a broke poke coke.
Cool. A good rhyme.
But I go by BPC.
You go by BBC. What's going on? What's going on, guys? Corey, you're at UT just as Sam and Rez, who were on last episode, are. They told me that social distancing isn't quite going very well, and also you guys forgot to tell me to turn off the air. Yeah.
Corey, he forgot to turn the air off.
It's on you. You forgot to tell me to turn off the air.
What temperature is it at?
Well,
53?
in this room right now, it's about 800 degrees, but the thermometers, the AC unit said it was supposed to bring it down to 65.
Nice.
So, but it didn't happen.
We'll call it comfortable.
It did not.
It's not comfortable. 65 would be this right now. It's about, I think it's creeping up to about 850 degrees now, Fahrenheit. Corey, what did I say? I said that I heard UT wasn't doing very well social distancing, I think I said.
Yeah, so we're having our first football game tomorrow. 25K capacity. That's fun. We also do not enforce like gatherings of more than 10 people. They just kind of advise you not to do it. It's just not good.
You know what you should do is create a suggestion box for other people. So if you know that people aren't social distancing, you can go outside their rooms, nail a suggestion box up to their door, and then just fill it with suggestions yourself.
But also stop.
Yeah, kind of like a non-consensual suggestion box.
I like it. I like the idea.
Something to think about.
Something to think about.
It's a business, honestly. I feel like we can make that a business.
I like the name Nonconsensual Suggestion Box. I think it really explains our business model.
It does.
Well,
it really lays it all out there. It might as well be the tagline as well. It's the name and the tagline.
There's nothing much left to the imagination.
No. Just how there shouldn't be much left to the imagination on this podcast. We really try to lay it all out there, bear it all, the truth, the lies, the misconceptions. We throw it all onto the ground, onto the tarmac, if you will, and we just let the big old airplane run over it.
No,
After 3 hours of waiting because you flew American, roasted.
You're coming at American right now? American Airlines?
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you
I
have any
think
other?
we all are. They're coming for our throats. We're coming for their throats.
It's true that, though.
They're coming for our
airlines.
votes.
They are coming
Whoa.
for our votes. I would be surprised if American Airlines didn't have a little hand in the election.
Yeah. They're definitely
A little
lobbying.
reaching in there, a little sneaky.
Reaching in
Their
there.
hands in the cookie
Reaching in
jar.
the cookie jar.
Yeah, and we're catching it, and we're going, and we're going.
We're mom. They call us
and we're
mom.
going, yeah, call us mom because we're not letting American Airlines into the cookie jar.
There's our slogan for the non-consensual suggestion box.
Yeah, the non-consensual suggestion box. We're not letting American Airlines into the suggestion. No, fuck. We're not letting American Airlines into the cookie jar.
Or your suggestion box.
Or your suggestion box. And with that, typically I like to play the game where people guess who's to my south. But I think we already know, unless you guys forgot already, in which case I'll give you guys both a guess as to who's to my south. David, who do you think?
Me.
Yeah, you're
Even though
both
it's
right.
Corey on my screen.
David is to the south, so David will go first. David, or should I say broke, poke, coke. Really hard to say, actually. Broke, poke, coke.
Broke, poke, coke.
Say it, Corey, say it 10 times fast, and if you do it correctly, then...
I have to go first.
Yeah, then David has to go first. But if you don't, then you have to go first. Go.
Broke, poke, coke. Broke, poke, coke. Broke, coke. Fuck!
He already botched it.
First.
So Corey goes first.
Myself.
Come back to me.
Okay, and David, we got David going first. We got David first
All
in the
right.
lineup. What do you got to
All
say,
right.
Brooke, poke, coke?
I think that duels, human duels, should be reintroduced to society as a way to deal with our issues. So one-on-one, you challenge somebody, you get it out, you clear the air. None of this passive stuff.
Okay.
I think the guns are too good for this. They're too accurate.
Are you saying, so you think that we should like the classic Old West style duel, or are you saying like
Not
Bows and
necessarily,
arrows.
but let's say you see somebody, it's on the person that initiates the duel to have the available. Well, let's say you just want to have a go at somebody, you don't like them. You better have 4 boxing gloves like on hand, and you challenge them, and you say, "We're doing
You're right.
this."
So you're saying that you should have a weapon of choice, and everyone who is like walking on the street should have at least 2 of those weapons on their person so that they can challenge someone to a duel and supply them with the proper weaponry for that.
If you're
duel.
the type to challenge, of course, someone might not be down to challenge.
Right. Okay. And in that case, you probably just wouldn't need a weapon, right?
Yeah.
But you would sacrifice
Because
your
you can-
dignity.
Yeah.
Right. You would be
It's
seen as
It's a
weak.
whole different new class system based on, challengers and those that don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I just think that so many personal issues. I mean, just think about you get pissed off and you just want to punch somebody.
Right.
Now you can, and
Okay.
the people around you legally can't stop you.
Have you, for some reason, this, like, when I think, David, you said class system, and this kind of made me think of, like, it's, like, which my take will go into a little bit, like, strong people and, like, aggressive people who are walking around with these weapons, and people who are seen as kind of pacifists. And it made me think of something, and it's a theory I want to talk to you guys about. It's a little off topic, but we'll circle back around. It's a theory that I heard about men and the 4 kinds of men, 4 quadrants. The x-axis is, I believe, attractiveness, and the y-axis is attractiveness, sorry, and the x-axis is amount that you respect women. On the top right, no, on the bottom left, least attractive and respect women the least are the incels. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Where are the simps going to be?
I
that-
agree. Oh.
On the bottom right, respect women the most, least attractive are the simps.
Wouldn't that be top left? Oh wait, no, never
because
mind.
they would be the most attractive. On the top left, most
That's a
attractive,
douche.
respect women the least are chads. In the top right, most attractive, respect women the most, called the himbos.
The himbos?
Did you make that up, or is that a thing?
No, it's something that I saw. I don't know. Thoughts on that?
I mean, that's pretty accurate. There's no in between, really.
Well, I just want to say that.
Well, you can be somewhere on the scale. You can be
Yeah, it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum.
I think that simping has a lot more to do with like behavior. Like I think you can be pretty rather than like I think that I do agree that like a less attractive guy that's like doing anything for a girl, it's obviously a simp. But I think there can be like more attractive dudes. Hello. I think there could be more attractive dudes that just don't get it, and they would mop the floor with their nose if a girl told them to.
Okay, so this brings up something that I think the term simp has been thrown around far too much lately. Like it seems like anyone who even says like a kind word to someone or encourages someone of the female gender, obviously, and this chart is mainly made for straight males. I don't know what the terminology is for any other sexual preference, but mainly straight males here. But I think like simp has been overused to the point of like if you smile at a female, you're called the simp. Thoughts? Yeah. Well, if you give a wink to a female, you're more likely a predator than anything.
And that's off the grid. Predators are not on the grid.
Predators are you add a z-axis and they're just in space.
What's the z-axis though?
The z-axis is the amount of times you wink at someone. And the more times you wink, the more into the predator zone you are.
We have like predators and then like guys
aliens.
that never blink.
Aliens versus predator.
Wink.
Yes.
Okay.
If you never wink, you're an alien, and if you do wink, you're a predator.
I think that for the most part, if you fear that your behavior is simp behavior, then you're probably a simp. If you're not actively fearing, you're just like helping, you're just like hanging out with a girl,
right? And
you're not actively like, oh my god, am I simping? Then you're probably not simping.
Okay.
Sounds like you're a simp.
Yeah. Sounds like you do a lot of research into the simps, David.
Did I not tell y'all that my thesis and my dissertation on simp behavior in American society?
Oh.
What is your thesis?
Yeah, what's the main thesis statement that you're giving out?
I don't know yet. So okay. It's only 2 weeks into class.
Yeah, you're still into the hypothesis stage.
I'm still simping on my research.
Dude, you're such a simp for research. You do all this work for it, and you put so much effort in.
Tell me what to type in, please.
You just try so hard with no hope of ever getting anything in return.
Mm-mm. I always research the wrong things.
I may or may not have forgot my hot take.
It's okay. There's still time. I can go before you if you need. Maybe I'll inspire you. Okay, wait. So let's go back to these dueling situations.
Oh yeah, I forgot what the hot take was.
It's interesting.
You're having a mare.
Yeah, Corey's having a total mare. David, what's a situation in which, like, what's a typical situation that you find yourself in normal life that you think would be better served in a duel scenario?
A teacher offers up like an opportunity via email to be part of a group inside your college it'd be a great opportunity for you because you're going to meet business professionals. It's a great networking opportunity,
right,
as well as just develop your skills in the whatever industry. Let's say you were in class, didn't want to respond to the email then, and you responded that evening, said, oh, I'd love to be part of this. And they said, sorry, so-and-so got there first.
Whoa. They mentioned them by name?
So-and-so. That'd be bold of them to do, but you're getting dueled.
Right.
Whoever's on there is getting dueled.
But in a dual society, like, they would mention that person by name and be like, may the best person win.
Yeah. The professor would want someone that's going to go duel.
Right.
They want that drive. If I'm a pacifist, they're like, this dude's not going to duel for this job, then why would I hire him?
Right. It's all about initiative.
It's real, like, go-getters are probably going to duel the most.
Right. Corey,
People that want to climb the ladder.
Could you see yourself in it? Like, where would you see yourself lying in this scenario?
I would probably duel with my roommate Josh.
For what?
I bought HEB chicken tenders, and he really likes Tyson, but I didn't find the Tyson until like later on in the grocery store, and I didn't want to switch it out because I didn't want to walk back across the grocery store and put the HEB chicken tenders back. So I just got the HEB ones. I was like, hey, why not try new things? Because HEB has good stuff. And then when I got home, I put in the freezer, and this morning he opened the freezer and then screamed to the whole apartment, "Well, not Tyson!" And then I was like, okay, we're dueling.
Right. And then, so what would be your weapon of choice in that duel scenario? Because obviously you're at home, you have access to your whole, what's it called? Armory?
An arsenal?
Your whole arsenal.
Armory.
Your whole arsenal.
Woo!
I have a coat hanger that I can throw pretty hard.
Okay. But you'd have to have 2 coat hangers. So do you have more than 1 coat hanger?
No.
So that would be tough. That would be tough. Because I couldn't give him mine. And he probably isn't carrying one. So yeah, I mean, not many have coat hangers. David, what is it, a duel to the death?
You kind of you establish your rules. Most of them probably won't be to the death.
Right. So
Some sort of submission.
Okay. So
system.
So your situation, which a teacher has presented an opportunity, probably wouldn't be a duel to the death.
No.
But like in a situation where, say, I don't know, you're out at your grave digging job, and then someone at nighttime, and a group of rowdy teens kind of infiltrates the graveyard at night on Halloween. And obviously you are not actually totally human, but you're a werewolf, and it's the full moon. And you got the grave digging job so that you can be by yourself at night when you become a werewolf. And these rowdy teens are kind of making a ruckus in the graveyard where they shouldn't be. They're not really respecting the dead. And you're big into like respecting the dead. You hold a lot of vigils, a lot of seances. You talk to a lot of spirits, so you know how heinous this behavior is. And you obviously at end of story, you transform into a werewolf. One of the teens, you say, okay, are there any werewolves among you? One of the teens is like, yes, I'm a werewolf, because that's the only way the duel would work. And then you guys fight to the death at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if y'all want to, then you can just say, this one's to the death, dude. That's kind of the code that I came up with in the rule book.
Right.
But I pictured it more like Harry Potter dueling, where it's just sort of like I want my opponent to live to know my superiority.
Right.
Vibe.
That's kind of the flaw with a lot of like the Old West duels, is that your opponent dies and they don't have to suffer and wallow in misery, you know?
It's only witnesses and lore that really keeps you going. But if there's a living testament to your awesomeness, people aren't going to step to you so fast.
No. And you'll get that opportunity. You'll get that opportunity next time from the teacher. You'll get your HEB chicken tenders.
I wanted to duel 4 people night, 2 days ago, I think it was. So it's just like, it's like 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. We're all just watching TV. My roommates, one of them's doing homework. We get a knock at the door. The only person that ever knocks at our door is maintenance or our friend when he comes over. And we're like, he's not coming over. And so one of them goes and opens the door. It's a group of 4 girls.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, we're your like downstairs neighbor. And it's all like, what's poppin'? And they're like, you guys stomp a lot. And it's gotten to the point that you interrupt our Zoom calls, which is not true. It's the people above us that stomp. And literally, it sounds like they are dropping furniture.
They can hear them from 2 floors?
I know it's not us because we don't stomp. And so I wanted to duel them, but they brought cookies. And she kept saying, like, we didn't want to file a complaint because, like, we're grown, so we brought cookies, and it was like your vibe is doable.
It's a little passive aggressive.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to my neighbors.
Yeah.
Who,
yeah.
But like they weren't like, they are adults, but like they didn't act like adults and decided to not communicate with us directly,
Right.
but to file multiple noise complaints to the point where we got fined $50.
$50,000. Yeah, that's heinous.
Yeah, no, it is.
That's heinous.
We got one of those once. Pretty heinous.
It's like it's a Saturday. It's only 11. Calm down.
The first around a calendar year ago, when I moved into my apartment in Boston, the first time I ever played my saxophone was like 8 p.m. maybe in my room, and I lived on the second floor. And all of a sudden, I hear someone stomping up the stairs, get a knock on my door. This guy, it was, mind you, 8 p.m. This guy was a college student. He goes to school like 5 minutes away from where we live. And he says, "Trying to sleep, man. Can you stop playing your saxophone?" And I was like, "It's 8 p.m.
Gotta play, man."
It was like, "It's 8 p.m. And he was like, "Trying to sleep." And I was like, "Okay." And I never played my saxophone again.
You should have said,
and you never played it again.
Shred.
And I took apart my saxophone and I hid it under his bed. And then he was haunted by the ghost for the rest of his time there.
Oh, okay. There's a ghost that lives in your saxophone as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought it was just me, but
no, I mean it's classic lore that classic saxophone lore that every B flat key is the home to a wicked little ghoul.
The trombone just needs an octave key. That's what it needs. If the trombone had an octave key, I'd make millions.
You'd make millions. You'd be the best in the world.
This is like. This is the voice. I know they can't see me. This is the voice of the most
we're recording the video, so
yeah. So hey, this is the face of the person with the most raw trombone talent untapped you've ever met.
Didn't practice one time and still managed to, like.
If I had, oh man. Numbered my measures.
The classic improv philosophy,
If I practice for improv, it's not improv.
There we go. Corey, we can say whether or not we agree with this dual take. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, I think it should be allowed.
I also think it. I think it could be allowed. I think really in a society where we govern ourselves. Now, obviously, murder not okay. If you just turn around on the street and be like, "I want to duel you," and then you just shoot someone. Not feeling that. I feel like we need duel referees on every street to be like, "You got a duel? I'm here to officiate."
Yeah.
So that, I think
Guinness
that's
World Records.
Yeah.
Always, they're just there.
Right. Yeah. I actually have a Guinness Book of World Records officiate. Official. I don't know. I keep him tied up in the basement so that whenever I try to break a world record, I can bring him up and say what. And he can
very nice.
Okay.
Well, I still agree. Obviously.
Yeah, Corey. What's your take? What's going on?
My take is that Kyler Murray is going to be one of the best fantasy players, equivalent to Lamar Jackson of last year and Patrick Mahomes the year before, because there's some reason is a trend for second year dual threat quarterbacks to just fucking go off on their second season. Mahomes did it, and then Lamar Jackson did it, and I think Kyler Murray kind of matches their style. I think he's going to do it this year, which is why I drafted him to my fantasy team.
Mm-hmm. And he's got D-Hop. He got
D-Hop though.
Now we have to. What did Russell Wilson do in his second season?
I don't know, and he's too old for me to know, and I don't.
You weren't even alive.
I was born 5 years ago, so.
Yeah. I think personally, if I had to pick the top performing fantasy player this year, it would be Sonny Michel.
Your first overall,
Okay.
The first overall pick in the what's Jigglypuff's fat taint fantasy
God.
league.
It's a great
Was he
game.
actually the first overall?
Yeah, I picked him first overall. I had the first pick, and Rez
Russell
was,
Wilson had a
Yeah, but
good
you didn't
second
pick
year
him first.
too.
yeah, I picked him first overall.
First overall, first pick of the first round
Yeah.
that's why I got Saquon at 4 and have the best team in the league.
Wait, Corey, it seems like you don't believe me.
You did not get Saquon.
No, I got Sonny
Me?
Michel.
He picked Sony Michel number 1. I picked Saquon at 4.
Never mind.
You really botched that one. Yeah, David's showing his.
That's the
fantasy
best
right
team
now.
in the league.
Oh, is that
You're playing me.
San Francisco's defense special team team is botched. Not a chance. You don't stand a chance.
You had second pick,
Who had second pick?
David.
I had 4th pick. And it went Sony Michel, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Michael Thomas.
So yeah, a pretty solid draft order there. I don't know, Corey, why Kyler Murray as opposed to any of the other second-year quarterbacks, or are there any other second-year quarterbacks?
Who are the second?
Actually, yeah. Who are the second-year quarterback? Who are the rookie last year?
Not something I know.
Fucking
Josh Allen?
He wasn't a rookie last year.
Or was he a second year last year? He balled out in his second year. He made waves.
But he wasn't the
for-
number one fantasy
Yeah.
player.
He's also.
But he made waves.
What about what's the guy's name that dresses weird that looks like Mac from It's Always Sunny?
Just name the famous
No
players.
one
Jaguars.
It's an easier game.
Oh.
Minshew.
Yeah.
This is his second year.
Um,
But no, because he's less dual threat though.
Guys, I'm going to be totally honest. I didn't even know that the NFL was starting this week. I've never been less interested in the NFL than I am right now.
Yeah, I
kinda feel
think the
that.
NFL is. I don't know. People are like really into it, but like people like wanted to like watch like the Chiefs game last night, like the other, and I was like, I understand that, but like
I
none of us
stopped
are
watching
Chiefs
it
or
pretty early
Texans
on.
fans.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, I guess, but like,
It's honestly, it's
I'm
just
just
something
not
to
that
do.
into it. Yeah,
And also, I think part of it is that playoff basketball is on right now.
true.
That's been insane. So
Daniel Jones.
Sorry.
Oh, Josh Allen was drafted. Oh, that's an offensive lineman. Different one.
You know who Tanner drafted?
Dwayne Haskins?
Tanner drafted Josh Allen as his quarterback.
Yeah, he did.
I haven't even looked at I don't even know who's on my team. I think a cool fantasy football alternative is all non-skill players.
True.
Who's Drew Lock?
He's the
Denver
what's her name?
Broncos? That's Will Greer.
Thoughts
Oh.
on this fantasy league? No skill players.
I still want us to have a separate league one year. I mean, we can't do it with all of us, but like we all draft only our favorite. Like I would only draft Cowboys, so I draft like Dak, Zeke,
Yeah.
Amari, Gallup. Just your bye week, you're screwed, and it's just everyone versus their favorite team.
I think I don't think it should be your favorite team. I think you have to draw out of a hat.
Some NFL player drafted like 4 kickers, so maybe he knows something.
Who drafted 4 kickers?
Some NFL player said he likes to something with the analytics told him to draft 4 kickers.
Oh, like take all the good kickers and then,
I guess.
And then trade them for good assets.
I guess.
you're like, oh, you want
I
a
didn't
good
even-
kicker? You gotta give me your flex.
Yeah.
OU has a football game, and I've honestly never – it's a football game tomorrow, and I've never felt like it just feels like we're spring semester. Like it does not feel like there's a football game tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Weird.
certainly. It's still spring break for me. So
It's
I think we
spring
have like
breaks all
20
year,
hours.
dude. That's
Never
my
stop.
that's my mentality.
I want to do the fantasy league where it like rolls over. to the next season.
Oh, does that
Like,
exist?
where you don't have a draft, where you like do trades.
Does that exist?
Or you can draft. Yeah, like there's a way, and you draft like the rookies or whatever.
But you should have to sign
Oh.
people to contracts, and then once their contract runs out, they're a free agent, and then you get to sign them.
Yeah,
What contract
that
are you going
seems
to
a
sign
bit
them to?
complicated.
I'll sign. Well, but it's year by year, so you can sign them to like a 2-year contract, and you have a salary.
I'm going to
cap.
sign DeAndre Hopkins to a
True.
2-year deal worth a pack of gum and $25.
Yeah, honestly, little idea, real life fantasy. Okay, say I sign David to my fantasy team.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
What about this? Real life grade fantasy. So I sign David to my fantasy team. I get points for every good grade that he gets on a test.
I like it.
Yeah,
And then
a lot of weight on
You're
your
about to-
shoulders.
No,
Yeah.
Now you know what it's
all
like
my
to be
tests
an
are
athlete.
easy. My tests are easy.
dude, what if
It's
instead of like every school having like a huge football program, they had a huge like academia program.
Everyone just competed to have the highest GPA.
Right, and they're like NCAA sanctioned tests that every school's like team takes, and you have like one math position, one like science position. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then, like,
I smell
some
I
math
smell what you
guys-
step in.
There are some math guys that are like better This is like
Yeah,
there's a pro and dual threat. There's calc and trig
yeah, and
math
then
guys.
obviously in a fantasy league, you would draft players like that based on how intelligent you think they are.
So if it's American history, but the guy on your team only is good at like the history of Soviet Union, you're gonna have to make a trade that week.
Right. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like
Or
Corey is really good at the Soviet Union.
Mhm.
I'm not a Soviet.
So I trade, yeah, and then you make the trade. I think it's perfect. I think it's a really good
I
idea.
like it. And it would
I-
encourage those students to really do well.
I think personally, a cool Mountain Men video idea would be the Great Grade Competition, and it's just a video where we compete to see who can get the best grade on their next test.
But Rez would just finish it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, true.
He'd beat
You just beat into
The race for the
EV
highest
train,
GPA.
bro.
We put all of
EV trains is
yeah. We put all of our GPAs in like a leaderboard on the Mountain Men page on the website,
I
and
think we
then
should
it's
put all
like
of our
a live
GPAs up.
leaderboard.
I think we should do a video where we all put our GPAs up on a screen, but like nobody knows whose is whose, and each person fills out which GPA they think is
Yeah,
which.
that'd be funny if we all
So
got on a
it's
Zoom
close.
call and guessed like match the GPA to the person. David, I think we can agree or disagree with the Kyler Murray thing. What do you think?
Of second-year quarterbacks, I'll say he's going to have the best year among them.
Okay.
Probably third-year quarterbacks too.
I think I disagree. I don't think. Wait, Corey, did you say that he will be the highest scoring fantasy player this year?
I'll say top 3.
I
Oh,
disagree.
you said top 3 overall scoring players?
Well, originally that's not what I said, but I think I'm confident enough to say
A
so.
top 3 overall, like any position.
Let's say
gonna be a
QBs,
top 3
top 3
scorer.
QBs.
A top 3 scoring quarterback. Yeah, I'm going to disagree with that too.
Disagree. Do you have him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing against me tomorrow.
I think I had him last year.
Saturday.
And he
Do you have Tyreek Hill?
poorly.
Yeah, I do.
I'm so mad that he ended up catching that touchdown.
Yeah, I
Saved your
I
game.
saw that. It was lit. He almost had a blunder some game.
Are you guys ready for my game-changing take or not?
Yeah, I'm ready for your game
Yes.
changing take right now.
Middle school athletics coaches should have to sing everything they say.
I disagree. They should have to rap everything they say.
I disagree with that. I think they should have to
Alright.
sing everything they say. And I'll tell you why.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Imagine this. You're in middle school. Your friend comes up to you and asks, "Did you sign up for football?" You say, "No." And they're like, "Come on. literally the entire male population of the 8th grade is doing it. You have to, or else
The
you'll
bandwagon fallacy.
you'll be stuck in off season. And then this young child, this isn't me, but this young child says, "Okay, I'll do it." The next day, they're just getting screamed at for no reason. It's 7th grade football, and they're getting screamed at through their face mask, wearing ill-fitting shoulder pads, horribly uncomfortable. Their helmet is squeezing their brain to the point
They're calling
of
you by your
possible
last
brain
name.
damage. And
What are you doing, son?
and you're just getting screamed at for something you aren't necessarily very interested in. You just wanted to be there. I think that's so weird that middle school athletics coaches took it so seriously. And I
So you
think,
want them to have to sing to take away the
yeah,
pageantry, the
What
pent-up,
are you
like,
doing,
importance of it.
son?
yes, that would be incredible. It literally only
I
adds.
don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm
literally-
doing, son.
It only adds to like a culture of toxic masculinity too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People are always be like, the next generation's like so soft. Like, have you seen those videos of like, not videos, but like pictures of like, they made the entire grade do bear crawls on the track, and it was like hot, and like people have like blisters or some shit, and then people will be like,
Yeah.
we have to do that in football every day. I was like, and you want future kids to have to do
Yeah,
that? Like,
And this is the person you've become because of it.
yes.
Also, yeah, you had to do it in football in like the 1950s, but this is like 8th grade off season. We're literally required to take this class, and they're like making us melt our hands off on burning AstroTurf. Like, it's insane.
Well,
the idea
I think
that
it was
a
the actual
7th
track,
grader-
not the like.
Okay, then
that's
they're
worse.
making us burn our hands on what's the track? Like, what is the track? What's it made of?
Just like black or
Ast-
whatever, I guess.
Astro
I'm
rugby.
pretty sure it's AstroTurf, is it not?
Is it not?
Well, turf means
It's like
grass.
but it's the stuff in it.
Is that what the track's actually made of?
I think so. Well, I guess they can be made of.
Let's call it Astro Track.
Okay, we'll call it Astro Track. We'll meet in the
Astro
middle. We'll call it
World.
Astro World.
Astro World.
We'll call it Astro
The
World.
track is that.
Tell 'em
There's a
Jack
fly
sent
in my
you.
room, and it's pissing.
There's a
me
helicopter outside my door.
The
Window.
podcast is falling apart. So I'll give you like it's but I'll go back to this. It's literally insane that if you didn't take athletics in middle school, at least where we went to school, you had to do like off-campus PE or something, and not everyone plays a sport, right? So and for some reason, we'll just use me as an example. For some reason, I was put in like the A group of 8th grade athletics off season. Why was I put there? That was like with like the A team of the football team. Like, everyone is very fast. Speed has never been something I'm very good at. I'm running on a track. Like, we're just like doing sprints one day, and the coaches are just like screaming at me because I'm in the back, and I'm like, what do you want? You put me here. I don't know what you put me here. So if they were just like singing, if they had to sing like, "You're not running fast enough," I would be like, this is fun.
7 on
having
10,
a
8,
good
9,
time.
10, stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah, the idea that like a 7th or 8th grade kid just has to get yelled at
I know.
by someone they might not particularly know well. I mean, I was chill with the coaches, but like someone might not talk to them in the hallways, and you're just getting yelled at every morning or afternoon by someone you don't know.
I know. It's also like, I had to wake up at 5 a.m. for this.
and
And now you're screaming at me?
bullshit.
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
we're choosing to wake up at 5 a.m.
And then it just continues on to
13.
high school, and like
Right.
nothing changes.
Right. And
It's worse.
I can
It's worse.
But I can also almost understand high school because, like if I was a coach, I wouldn't yell at people. But at the same time, like in high school, like you choose to play those sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there's
I wonder-
a non-athletic option in high school.
Right.
I wonder what
Marching
like
band, for instance.
benefit like comes out of coaches just constantly yelling at their athletes. Like,
I mean, it makes
what
good
are they
football
supposed
players,
to
I
get
presume.
angry? Yeah, apparently makes fucking good football players, but like I don't think anything else has been tried.
But also, do you really think that this is true? But also, do you really think that like at schools that don't have good football programs, do you really think their coaches like aren't yelling at them?
No, they're
Do you think,
definitely
like,
yelling.
do you think that they're just like talking nicely to their football team, and because of
Oh,
that,
you
their
really
football
tried
team,
on that play. Good
and
job.
because of that, their football team is like not good?
No,
I
they
feel
have
like
bad
it's because there's
players.
not that much strategy. Like you can call like good plays and shit, but like if your linemen like fucking suck, then nothing's gonna happen. So you fucking yell at your linemen, and basically they get like angry and
And they
like just
cry.
get better. But they cry. But then the next play, they don't want to get yelled at, so then they do better.
Motivation by fear.
Yes, it's a fear factor.
Right, and
The fear tactic,
personally, let's
like
honestly,
the U.S. government.
I would love to take on a high school football team and be like, I'm your coach. I'm going to lead with love and see what happens. Someone put me in a high school football program. I will never speak a word. I will sing everything, and we'll see what happens.
This will be like Ted Lasso, but American football and choir.
Yeah, I want to get like a legendary
No, this is
Broadway.
shit.
I want to get like Idina Menzel to start coaching a high school football team and just sing everything and see.
Like in the commercial.
Well, no, you need a guy that's like
Yes,
you need
the
like
commercial.
like Usher,
Oh yeah,
someone that's still like they're like
Wait,
That's cool, dude.
Jason Derulo.
yeah, true.
no,
You need
the
someone
guy
who's-
from Fast
No.
and Furious, the guy that played Jason Statham's like little brother in like the Fast and the Furious movie. He was in
Kevin Spacey.
Does he sing? It has to be someone.
he
who
can't.
sings.
He was. I think he was in Les Mis.
Okay. Yeah, I do think Idina Menzel. I don't think she has the proper street cred for this.
True.
Even though she does have
She's
have
cred.
an Oscar. She does have an Oscar.
Yeah.
Do you have an Oscar? That's
Yeah.
what she can do. Whenever she like loses it and just has to yell at somebody, she's like, "Do you have an Oscar?"
But she has
I
to
have
sing.
an
You fucking have.
She has to sing.
It's like, Coach, stop saying, do you have a fucking Oscar?
Yeah.
I'm gonna coach the football team out of the fuck I want.
My original take was
Now
that
get on the line.
the middle school coaches should all be Broadway actors, but that's not realistic. It has to be someone who, unless we can find a million Broadway actors who have good knowledge of like how to coach youth sports, then I think we should just make coaches sing.
I agree. Until then.
So David, you think
Luke
he should take on?
Evans,
Yeah,
He
okay.
Yes.
definitely. I think he'd be a good man for the role.
because he's also British, so it's really flipping
Whoa.
the Ted Lasso on its head.
And he has the vibe.
Oh,
too.
he might.
He has
Yeah,
the
he's
vibe.
very masculine.
Yeah, he has the vibe of like a coach in a high school sports movie. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the young coach
And
that comes in to turn everything around.
It's the chance to show a bunch of young, impressionable young men that being masculine doesn't require getting yelled at 5 a.m. in the morning just to play a sport for 2 years that you know
Exactly.
you're not going to commit to.
Exactly. It's just really taking down the bars of toxic masculinity.
Especially if you're on
That's
like
my
B
take.
and C team, like
Yeah,
you know
King,
you're not
C-team
gonna, like-
legend.
dude. Yeah, like imagine being on this. Like imagine like being like placed on the C team and then being yelled at for not
Still
being good
getting
enough.
yelled at.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What is
The worst part-
Like,
The worst
come
part
on.
was when you move to off season from football, and then these football coaches are like, "All right, now you're all the same. We're all gonna like run you the same." It's so
No,
dumb.
yeah.
Like these football coaches are not in off season, and as soon as football season's over, they're like, "Yeah, now we're running this."
Yeah, it's goofy.
Ugh.
It's goofy. But I don't know. That's my take. What do you guys have to say?
Yeah,
I think that'd be the best thing of all time.
I have to agree. I think it would be dope.
Cool. 2 agrees on my take. So now we can move into what's going on. Now we can move into hottest take, the hottest take award. So David's really far away now. So the hottest take award is where we just award who we think had the hottest take for the episode. I guess we can restate our takes, starting with me. My take was that all middle school athletics coaches should be forced to sing everything that they say in practice or like in class, you could say. Corey, you want to restate yours?
Mine was that Kyler Murray is going to be a top 3 fantasy football QB this year.
Okay, and David, what do you say?
We should bring back duels.
We can we'll vote. We'll start David first, then Corey, then me. That's how we're gonna vote. Ready? We'll say it fast. 3, 2, 1.
Cameron.
David. And I have one on this take. We can return. Okay. That's Corey, can you curl your tongue? Nope. You can just you got it.
No, I did it the first time.
You got it. Corey's first time. We'll title this podcast Corey. Did you just spit on the screen? We'll title this podcast Corey's first time.
So. Corey Spittles.
Corey's spits.
First spit.
Corey's first spit. And that is a pillow pet. Is that a corgi ass?
Corgi butt.
Oh.
I got it at a white
garage sale.
But I was 20 at the time, and it was at Courtney's apartment. So I got a wine bag, but I had to trade it for that.
But at least you got a corgi ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it even has like stitching on its anus.
Gee, whoa. A vulgar pillow.
Can I see the head?
It's its butt, bro.
There's no head.
It's not a whole body.
God.
There's no head to this. Yeah, this has been Hot Takes, High Stakes. Obviously, you've already listened to this, so that's all we have to say about that. If you're listening to this, you probably know about the Mountain Men Vids YouTube channel. If you're listening to by the time you listen to this, we've missed our first upload week in like 8 or 9 weeks. Props to us for posting 8 or 9 times in a row. I don't know. Maybe this week we can get a collective vlog in.
I could do something. We could get a
little
tour.
video in. Yeah, campus tour, a little something. Maybe we get a revisiting of David's delights.
I can't believe you brought that up.
All right. Well,
I'll have to do it then.
And obviously, we have the classic matching our GPA to each other. Like we just guessing those GPAs basically. So that'll be fun too. We'll figure out a time to do that. And yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see ya.
Let's hit him with a classic sign-off. Ready? On 3, we're all going to do our most classic sign-off we can think of. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bye!
Suck my dick.
Plump Goops Podcast.